That's the intro. You're welcome.
Greetings, beatboxers. Welcome to Disenthrall. I am Patrick Smith. I'm here today with my partner in victimless crime, Casey Ones Brydinian. Welcome.
Yep,
Welcome.
that's my name.
Kaysen. His name is Kaysen. So today I had an interesting day today, man. I wanted to kind of take a little bit to debrief and talk about some interesting stuff that's kind of come up and that's happened today.
You were attacked by a black hole. I know that much happened. Hello,
What?
attack helicopter cat. You were attacked by a black square. I know that much. I know we're going to get into that at some point today.
I guess we can lead with that while we're waiting on people to join. Like like how much attention I spend on like getting the technical details right, and like how frustrating it was when like there was a giant ass black screen in the middle of a stream today.
I'm imitating. This was the stream.
like
Here,
like
guys,
this.
let me take on some commies in front of you.
Yeah. Oh, so that was a
Here's
huge
the tip of my
fail.
hair and the bottom of my feet.
I can't say it wasn't my fault because, like, you know, it's my job to get this stuff right for you guys. So it was my fault, but that app gave me no indication that it just put a big ass black square in the middle of the screen. Like, I had no idea. I had no way of knowing that just happened. Yeah. So
Put his notification blinders on, and he went in balls deep to where were you, Patrick? Why were you at this location?
So there's an anarchist book fair. There's a group of anarchists in Dallas that call themselves like the Trinity River Anarchist Confederation or something like that. And they put on a book fair where they distribute their commie propaganda, anti-capitalist propaganda. And, we'd known it was coming up for several weeks and decided to pay a little visit. I went there to make some jokes and to try and engage people and to try and listen to their speakers, see what they had to say, because I thought, okay, you're going to have speakers on this commie stage of yours. I'm going to record them, and it might be good content to share with you guys later. And, maybe do some rebuttals, talk through it, find all the problems with it. They also had some tables there. It's a book fair, right? So they had a bunch of tables with books on it and stuff. And I was going to show you guys what they were getting up to at this place. But that did not happen at all. You guys can go and look at the previous video to this one on the channel, on all of our platforms, I think, and see that, what is this? What is that? Oh yeah, you can see my monumental...
You can see the outside of what was happening.
Yeah, you can see all the edges of the everything that happened. So, I didn't even get in the door, not because I, walked up spouting capitalist dogma. I just literally walked up holding it's a little gimbal with my phone on it that was live streaming. And they did not want publication of anything going on there for reasons.
Was it open to the public? Which I would assume a communism event would be.
Well, you would assume that it was open to the public. But it wasn't open to this public because I had a camera. And so apparently a bunch of people... Jenser, he says, they knew you weren't a commie because they couldn't smell body odor.
He's not one of us. Get him, boys.
I mean, I'm not saying that was a thing, but may have been a thing. Let's just say we had some accounts of body odor being a thing at this event. Anyway, so so you can watch the video. It's about 20 minutes long. I didn't get the door because I had a camera. They said that the camera was a threat they had actually called my camera a threat to the people inside. Because I guess people need to protect their identities when they espouse communist beliefs. So they feel potentially threatened by being on video. So
isn't that kind of like a cop whenever they're like, I feel threatened by you holding up your cell phone camera? It's like, dude, you got a gun and you're ready to kill somebody and you're worried about a little lens pointed in a general direction. It's like you take that out of that and put it into commie land. Like, hey, I want to take over everybody's property and make it everybody's, which makes it nobody's. But then I can have some if I want some. Oh my God, is that a camera lens? You're so violent. Stay away.
Yeah, it was interesting though. So it's being run by what appears to be a private company called like Rubber Gloves Studios or something in Denton, Texas. He doesn't want me coming in with a camera, but he's fine like letting his company, rent its space, share its space with actual there were masked people there, people with masks on, like Rubber that you would see at an Antifa. Yeah, it was called like Rubber Gloves Recording Studio. I should have had the site pulled up.
We don't want you to record here at the recording studios. It's in the name. Where does it say that? In the name, Rubber Glove Recording Studios.
Yeah, it's like rubber. It was definitely rubber gloves, and it was so funny because I had just finished doing like a gag. I was trying to keep the stream light. Like I was like, okay, anytime I'm going to deal with communists, you gotta have your kit prepared. And I pulled out a pair of rubber gloves from my car, and then I literally turn around, I shut my car door, and I point the camera at the building, and I see rubber gloves on the building. It was a moment. I'm not sure you guys could see it because of the giant black square in the middle of the screen.
Did you end up getting a good Ben Shapiro moment in? Like, where is that said? In the name, Boy Scouts. Well, it's a recording studio, so I'm here to record. Where does it say that? In the name, recording studio. Well,
it was, I mean, hold on one second. I'm not going to find the name of the studio, but...
I'll get it. In one of our chats.
The short version is that, they basically said, this is private property. You can't come in if you violate our rules. And I'm like, oh, it's private property here. Oh, well, that's refreshing. Are you guys sure that you realize that you're standing in private property right now? I mean, how do the rules work here? Like you could see, like, I don't know if you could see, God, the black square on the video is enraging. But, when they said I couldn't come in and I asked them, well, like, who makes those rules? I thought this was a public communal space. You could see, like, their faces, they all, like, turned sideways and didn't know what to say. Like, and you'll see later, at one point, later in the video, I'm like, well, so you guys have decided that I'm not allowed in here with a camera? Well, I don't consent, so where does your authority flow from to determine the rules for in there? And they're like, well, it's our event. And I was like, well, what does that even mean? It's your event. So that gives you the right to, aggress against people? Like, anyway, it was a delightful set of contradictions. The things that was surprising to me was Vermin Supreme's presence there. So, Vermin Supreme is a big political troll, right? And right now he's running for president of the United States in the Libertarian Party. This one. That's right. That's right. I've got memes now. Okay, maybe this one's a little long. It's kind of a long meme. Anyway, so he's running for president, and I see him as a guy that is bringing the amount of respect the office of the president deserves to the public eye. Like he's disrespecting the process. He's disrespecting the office. And that is hilarious to watch. Very entertaining. And generally a point that needs to be made to a lot of people. The office and the process are invalid, immoral, non-consensual ways of controlling everyone around you. And so when he, talks about running on a platform of giving everyone free ponies, that's hilarious. And it makes an important point about the process. I had no idea, though, that he associates with commies and socialists in the Libertarian Party. It was kind of mind-blowing. Now, this is either like a coincidence. Maybe he didn't know he was coming to that kind of event. Maybe he thought it was like a more normal anarchist type event or something like that. I don't know. A more normal libertarian event. I really doubt that, though, because some of the people that I have found out are socialists and communists are known to be helpers of his, be helping his campaign. So that's worrisome. Because
did you see him at all? Did you see anybody speak there?
They didn't let me in. The most that you'll hear this on the stream was some chick wailing on the stage in a musical fashion. That was about it. I would have loved to engage with people, and you'll see in that live stream for 20 minutes, I'm basically asking for somebody to have a real conversation with me, and they just laugh and don't let me in the door with my evil camera. My risky
evil camera.
threat camera. What do we got? Some comments here. Hold on, let's see. What's up, Phobes? What's up, Attack? 71. Null. Rubber Gloves Rehearsal Studio. Yeah.
Currently being blocked by Kaspersky.
Jensry says, I was very courteous with them despite their hostility. I really tried, man. I really tried. Like, over and over, I'd be like, look, I'm chill. I'm not trying to force my way into your building. You've told me I'm not allowed in. I'm going to stand here. That's fine. I'm not trying to get in. They, for some reason, just put a lot of hostility on me. They projected that on me.
I have an idea as to why. I'm looking at an image sent by another, let's just say, anonymous producer who was able to be an infiltrator. And Abolish Whiteness by Noel Ingenetiv is on the table for sale. Queers Gone Wild, a journal of queer nihilism, issue 1, is also for sale. Blockade, Occupy, Strike Back is for sale. War on the Coast, who knows what that one's about? I don't know. So maybe. Another word for white ally is coward. You walk up, you're not one of the in-group there, bucko.
Yeah. That sounded like a very racist book name you started off with. It was, what was it, Erase the Blackness?
Abolish Whiteness.
Abolish Blackness? Yeah, that's really racist.
You're right, if that's what I said. But I didn't say anything racist. I said abolish whiteness, Patrick. That's not racist.
Sorry. Yeah,
come on.
That's totally cool. That's not racist. Yeah. If it said black, that would be a problem.
And for some reason, all their books are in black and white. Like, can they not afford color printing? I guess they're all black and white, and like the table's in color, so it's not the photo. I can forward you the photo if you want it. It's in one of our mutual groups, but if you want, I'll send it to you on Discord if you want to put it on the stream. Your call.
So the guy, to answer Attack Helicopter's message, the guy at the end, I think, was the owner. The guy that came out at the very end and was like, can you wait on the other side of the street? I'm pretty sure that was the actual owner. I'm pretty sure. Yep. So, I'm sorry, what was the last thing you said, Kason? I missed it.
Oh, I was going to say, if you want the picture for the stream, I can send it on Discord over to you to propagate, just so you can witness the glory and allow others to do so.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Cool. Sending.
So, I mean, I think I just wanted to hang out. Kason's somewhere else in the world right now traveling, and he had some time from his hotel room to hang out with us. So
I'm in California.
Oh, you're in California. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I got a story to tell you. I'm in San Diego. Okay, I think I've sent it to you on Discord. I'm in San Diego, and we go to a grocery store to pick up some groceries, because I'm going to be here for a week or whatever. Oh, there you go. There's the image. Here, I'll hide myself.
No, that's fine. I moved it up. It literally says abolish whiteness.
I know. I can't read everything that's on there, but I saw that, and notice it's all in black and white. None of it's in color. And I know color costs at least 5% more expensive, but come on, guys. This is propaganda we're making here. Throw some reds and yellows in there. Let's go.
Blockade, Occupy, Strike Back. Another word for white ally is coward.
That's from anti-state St. Louis.
Yeah, they're probably really glad that they ended up not allowing me in, because this would have been a field day. This would have been just a blast to look over this stuff.
So back to my story. I'm in San Diego, and we go to the grocery store, and I'm following behind somebody. I'm trying to get to the section of food where I want to go, and I'm behind this person, and I think it's a woman. And then they turn around, and it was not a woman. It was somebody that's somewhere between the two. And on the way out,
this sounds transphobic already.
Person, that's just what they had gone through a transition, right? And then whenever I walked outside, I realized that the whole side of it had a mural that's rainbow themed. And I was man, California is memeing itself right now. I just landed and I'm already in the middle of it. And then there's a billboard across the street that said, what was it? Transitioning question. Oh, transgender health services here. And it's got a big arrow pointing down. And I was just like, man, what is this? And the scary, this is the only part that I'd be worried about, because fundamentally you own your body, you can do what you want. Yeah. I may not do that myself or whatever. What's that?
Oh, I was just putting it up in the background. Yeah.
Yeah. So whenever I was at the checkout, I said, "Madam," to whoever was at the checkout, because they don't have bags for you there, because you've got to pay 10 cents a bag to decrease the number of bags you buy, I guess, and decrease. I didn't have deodorant. You're like, you got to have this when dealing with commies. So I said, "Madam, I would like to buy a bag or two to hold all the groceries." And I'm like, oh no, this is like the most dangerous sentence I possibly could have said based on the information that I've gathered thus far.
It's ma'am.
She was not offended. Yeah, I was worried I was going to be on the butt end of that joke. I'm like, oh no, my life is ruined. But she was cool. The checkout person was much cooler, and they were like, "Yeah, don't worry about it." And I'm like, "Okay, sorry, didn't pay attention. I'm just going to go now." So then I left.
Everything is sexist. Everything is racist. Everything is homophobic, and you have to point it all out.
Yeah,
I love my new memes. I love them.
He's got the memes. He's got memes for days.
I do.
Anyway, so that's if anybody's in California, I'm in San Diego for the next week and can be reached on Discord, which you can join right up above my face. Discord GG3 capital Alpha blah 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 blah.
There you go. We've been playing a lot of. What?
Oh, I was just going to point out, I like how the bar functions as like masking the people's identity. Like they're hiding. Oh, nope, never mind. But it was for a second.
Yeah, that's what it was for.
Totally.
So, I mean, what did you guys think of the stream from today? That was interesting. Attempting to interact with these people. This is like Texas Libertarian Party stuff, but I was surprised to find out that the leaders of the campaign for Cory Watkins, one of the people I ran against for in the governor's race for Texas, are these socialist commie types. I'm pretty sure if that had been more widely known, the voting results might have been a little different. Maybe that's why they kept it so quiet. It's very interesting. What's up, Rika? Welcome to the stream. We're just kind of BSing about the day's events. Good to see you. Why weren't you notified? Well, it's YouTube, I guess. I don't know.
Why weren't you notified? Well, yeah, because YouTube. That's why, Rika. That's funny. I like it. Hello, yeah. Rika. And I think you were just about to say we've been playing a lot of
video games, video games.
And who's right above me?
Can anybody call it? Can anybody name the game?
Anybody know? Anybody know who this is?
Come on, what's the game? What's it from?
Give me 10 seconds, like a dramatic countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7. Oh. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, no one knows. It's a mystery. Rika doesn't know.
That's Sylvanas.
Sylvanas from World of Warcraft. Hey, HOTS. Yeah. You know what's up.
In Heroes too.
Yeah. All about it. Yep.
World of Warcraft.
Thanks, Star. Yeah. I forgot what comes after 6. I just gave up.
Yeah, I figure a little Fire and Brimstone was fitting for today's events.
Pretty cool. So anyway, what else is on your mind, Patrick? So you visited commies, and I visited California. So we're both we synced up on that accidentally. What else has happened today or recently?
What I was saying was just like I also found out that Ben Farmer, Let's Not Talk About Harming the Child Farmer, was also helping Vermin Supreme recently. So it seems like all of these people of the same, let's say, moral standards seem to be congregating together.
There's a word for that in Southern. It's called ilk. People of the same ilk.
People of the same ilk. All right. Yeah. I feel like I'm constantly having to talk about uncomfortable things because no one else is, and it gets a little bit tiring because I'd like to focus on the positive, but if no one else is doing this stuff, I'm going to. So that's that is that.
We are irked by their ilk. Thank you, one of those guys.
Yeah, he has been left-leaning. I didn't know that he was left. Like
Left of left.
Dangerous
Like a full
left.
180.
How about dangerous left? That's a good way of putting it. Dangerous ideas.
Somebody posted Vermin 2020, a boot you can be glad to lick.
Yeah.
It was a while back, but I thought that was pretty funny.
Okay, so the other stuff that's going on is like the Area 51. We gotta see them aliens, clap them cheeks,
Clap them forbidden cheeks, baby.
And I've been loving this, man. There's like a Facebook group with almost 1 million people in it. Constant memeing, just like hilarious memes. And then a lot of people bumping into like the uncomfortable contradiction in what they're saying and reality. And what I mean by that is you have 1 million people, maybe even 2 million if you add the other groups together or something like that. You have
3.4 million going or interested as of right now. 3.4 million. That's more than 1%. 1 out of every 100.
Oh my God. So
Martin Luther King had a Million Man March. Memes got 3.4 million, boys.
So the cool thing about it and the opportunity that I've had, and I would suggest literally all of you do this too, is get into those Facebook groups where all the people are talking about going, and you'll see all these military people being like, well, y'all are gonna die. You're gonna get mowed down. And of course the memes are hilarious, talking about Naruto runs and they can't stop all of us and all that. It's all, for a lot of people, it's just good fun. But there are some people that are kind of running into this idea that, look, you've got 3 million people now wanting to see what's in Area 51 and being told that there will be a mass murder by the military, the people that are supposedly supposed to protect them, to protect their rights.
That's half a Holocaust.
As citizens, like... You have people, I mean, like, you have a large percentage of the population wanting to see something. Maybe they're memeing, maybe they're not. It doesn't matter. But they're being threatened with death. And so that's an interesting, not dichotomy, but an interesting contradiction, and can be used to kind of wake certain people up. You just say like, oh, well, you say simple things like, oh, well, maybe if the military people were actually, protecting us and protecting our rights like they say they are, maybe they'd be helping us, walk on a guided tour of Area 51 because this many Americans want to see what they own, what they want to see their property. They're paying their taxes to afford this stuff. So why can't they see their property that they're paying for if enough of them get together? Why is the military threatening their lives when they want to see something that they own? It's a learning. Go ahead.
It harkens back to the commies earlier where they said, we don't want anybody to own anything, but get the fuck off of our property. And then the military is doing the exact same argument. Nobody really owns this because we all really own this, but get the fuck off of our property. It's the same argument. And I bet you they'd be really unhappy if it's like, hey, you know what? You're a communist, buddy. You're all for the welfare of everyone, which means you're for the welfare of no individual.
And so a great way to trigger people right now, and maybe start up useless Facebook flame wars, is to just go in these groups and point that out. Be like, hey, if you're protecting my rights, we've got a lot of American citizens here that want to see this. Why aren't you helping us? Why are you threatening to murder us all rather than helping us get access to this thing that we want to see? So it's a good teaching moment is all I'm saying. I would suggest.
There's a lot of strategy to be learning as far as, where are you going to put your division of Kyles whenever shit hits the fan, the division of Karens whenever they're going to ask for the manager. What's the most effective way to put the Naruto runners? You're going to put them up the middle and then we'll all sneak in through the back on the north side of the cliff. I've been paying attention to the developing strategy. They're ready for the boogaloo. You
put the furries where they'll expect everybody to come from, and then on the back line you get, Chuck Norris. Just from when they least expect it, from behind.
I got a meme, and this meme is worthy. And I'm going to send you this meme, and I would like you to display it. I don't think it's real, but if it is, it will make everyone very happy. Please stall time while I search my meme stash.
Okay.
It's substantial. The meme stash is substantial.
So, like, I know we started our stream late, guys, so it's probably not going to be a super long stream, but, you know, I've got another rant that has been stewing in my head that I can get to while he's searching his meme stash, if you guys are interested. And it's on this idea of cannon. Now, I don't mean cannon like the weapon, like the big thing that fires cannonballs at people, whatever. I mean like the idea of intellectual property and canon in terms of, like, you know, you have a series of movies made by somebody, and what the creator deems to be canon is canon, and what they say isn't canon is not. You know, that idea of canon. Okay, yeah, there we go. Oh, you can't see it, there's too much. There we go. Nice.
Nicolas Cage, everybody.
Yeah. Good stuff.
It made me so happy. The memes are so crispy.
Yeah, so it brings in this, like, the first arguments everybody use when you try and discuss this idea of canon, what is it and who determines what is and is not canon, is everybody says, well, it's the creator. But then as soon as the creator is no longer there anymore, then it seems to fall to these intellectual property-based legal arguments, like who owns the IP, who owns the name. So, like, if, well, let's just say, like, Gene Roddenberry, because that's what's been pissing me off lately. So, you know, Gene Roddenberry creates Star Trek. He creates the characters, he creates the entire universe, the vision for the universe, what the types of things that he's trying to communicate with the world. He creates all that. He speaks it into existence. He picks people to be his characters. He works with them to get them to portray his characters the way he wants. And then, you know, he releases the stuff into the world. He releases Star Trek to the world, and people fall in love with it. Not immediately, as we all know. The first Star Trek didn't do so well. But, you know, Star Trek Next Generation and some of the movies certainly did very soon after. And so there's, you know, all the nerds, comic book nerds, sci-fi nerds, they love getting into the nitty-gritty details of every little thing about the universe. And there's also people that are such fans that are also like authors. They write fiction. And so they make fan fiction is what it's called. Like when the fans of a story write their own stories in that original creator's world, maybe with the original creator's characters or maybe with their own custom unique characters. This is called fan fiction, and they'll say that it's not canon, meaning that this is like something nerds are concerned about. And I don't say nerds disparagingly. I'm definitely one of them. I'm one of the biggest Star Trek fans that has ever existed. And so I'm certainly participating in this stuff, and it does matter what is canon and what's not. But what does that mean? It means, like, it's like a way of saying, like, what is legit and what is not legit. Like, what is real, and what is, you know, considered to have happened in the world, and what is just fan fiction, what is side stories, what is unofficial, like, what is not legit. Like, okay, that's a cool story that you wrote there, you know, with the characters and all that stuff, but it's not canon. It's not Star Trek, qua Star Trek. Like, you know what I mean? I think you guys understand what canon is. But what I don't think most people understand about canon, and maybe I am unique in this idea around canon, and if I am, that's fine. I will defend it. I'm ready to come at me. But if there is a singer and, you know, they build a big brand as this famous singer, they have a beautiful voice or whatever, excuse me, and they become famous, people love the singer, they love this person's music, and then that person dies, and then the company that she formed, he, she, whatever, the singer formed, doesn't just cease to exist, because that's not how companies work in the current status paradigm, right? So the company continues to exist, and the company now owns the intellectual property rights of the singer's music and the right to continue selling it, the right to reproduce it, to make performances of it, even though the original creator is not there anymore. And, you know, even if they wanted to, they could maybe, let's say that we get the technology that I think is actually real, Case, and you can talk about this if you have made any progress on it. But, you know, computers can generate people's voice in an indistinguishable way. Like, you will not be able to easily tell that it's not actually the person's voice you're listening to. So it's feasible that in the future, near future, companies would be able to, even after the creator dies, continue producing music where that person's voice continues to perform. But that would be not actually that performer. That wouldn't be canon for that performer, because the performer isn't there anymore. The performer, the creator, the original person, the veracity of that work is no longer there. And just because there's a company that has the intellectual property rights to something does not make that thing legit. It does not make that thing canon. It doesn't make it real, like official. It doesn't make it legit, is what I'm trying to say. And so I think that idea, that conception of canon, needs to be carried over to all the other forms of creative works that we think about. So, like when you have, so Gene Roddenberry is not with us anymore. A lot of the people that he worked with are not involved in the recent Star Treks, and I'm putting air quotes around that because this new stuff that they're calling Star Trek is not, it's not even the actual company that owns the original intellectual property anymore. I don't know if many people know this, but the original company is specifically not making Star Trek. They're not making shows and they're not making movies. The company that owns the intellectual property from Roddenberry licensed it to Kaysen just sent me deep fake audio. We have to listen to this. Okay. All right. Let's see.
This is Kaysen, and I think taxation is a good idea. This is Kaysen, and I think taxation is a good idea.
Okay, well, that kind of sounded fake.
It sounded fake, but it has the essence of my voice, and that's only with training it with like 300 lines, 300
This
300
is Kaysen,
sentences.
and I think taxation is a good idea.
It
This is
definitely
Kaysen,
has.
and I think taxation is a good idea, right? Like there's the essence of me in there somewhere. And that's just one that's online, that's free, that you can train. And the more you train it, the better it becomes. And I was like, this is too spooky. I'm not going to train it a lot. I'll just send it Patrick's voice and I'll train that. And then I'll have Patrick's voice. That'll be good. That'll be useful.
I mean, that's wild, man.
This is Kaysen, and I think taxation is a good idea.
That's like right on track. Like, 50 years from now, people are going to look back on this video and be like, oh, look, the internet was just starting.
Oh, look, the singularity was just starting.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So anyway, what was I saying? So the company that owns Star Trek, I'm using air quotes because intellectual property is not a valid form of property. I haven't said that yet in this particular video, so I will say it now. Intellectual property is invalid. It is just controlling people's behavior, controlling other people's property using the guns of government to sort of spirit into existence this thing called intellectual property. Anyway, so the company that owns Star Trek IP licensed it to CBS, and CBS has then used it to make this recent Star Trek TV show with the, what I call Klingorks, and this terrible social justice-y plot device setup where, the Klingons are basically Trump supporters wanting to keep Klingon, keep it Klingon or whatever, I forgot what their tagline is because I don't watch this terrible show. This is not Star Trek. This is not canon. And what I mean by that is it's not Gene Roddenberry's show. And even if Gene Roddenberry had given even if Gene Roddenberry had given the Star Trek name to someone else and they then started creating stuff using this intellectual property, it still would not be canon. And that's what I'm trying to communicate. Like, canon to me means, from the original mind or set of minds that created something. And just because these companies can trade these, 1,000-page-long legal documents where intellectual property spins all over the planet and is owned and whatever by all these people that can then use it to create money. I'm saying that just because you have this contract signed does not make it Star Trek. Roddenberry is gone, and that is tragic and sad, and that means that, in my opinion, with my conception of canon, there will not be any more Star Trek. Like, the closest thing you're going to get to Star Trek is if you got a bunch of the actors that worked on the old show together, kind of gave them the keys to the show in a way to kind of oversee the storytelling and you know, to try and keep it original, to try and keep it in the faith of Gene Roddenberry, what he would have wanted. That's the closest thing I think that you're going to get to canon. But all this new stuff is just, it's fan fiction. It's not real. It's not canon. It's not Gene Roddenberry's Star Trek. It's a company that sub-licensed some intellectual property from a company that got it from Gene Roddenberry's company when he was alive. Like, what do you guys think about that conception of canon? I think it really clarifies, like, my expectation. Like, because if I think about this garbage that these companies put out these days, if I think about it as fan fiction, it's like, to me, the pressure is sort of off. Like, okay, yeah, that's kind of crap. Oh, yeah, they went out of their way to, you know, be cultural Marxist social justice warriors with it. But it's fan fiction. Let the fans make their fan fiction. Why not? Why not? What do you guys think? KO44, still don't know how to say your name. I think it's legit if one author specifically passes the canon torch off to another, but I've never heard a blatant example of that happening. Jensry says, if the new guys overseeing the show make it have the same feel, then I accept, but usually they just neuter what made it good. Debo says, makes sense. It would be like Metallica without any of the original members. Oh, and that's an interesting example, Debo, because, you know, Metallica doesn't have all of its original members. So, you know, there's the original members of Metallica. Yeah. Well, no, not even that. I think there's only like 2 members currently from the original Metallica in Metallica.
I just know that I think it was like the 90s or the aughts that the bassist died and they had to replace him. Let's see. Bassist died.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I was a Metallica fan. I followed it. Yeah. And, you know, they had a... I haven't followed it recently. I actually haven't really followed Metallica since they started suing everybody for copyright infringement back in the...
Or Guns N' Roses with chubby Axl Rose. Yes. You know, Slash is not there anymore.
So is current Metallica...
This is a cover band.
Is current Metallica's music that they put out today canon Metallica? You know, I think there's the leadership of the band is still there. The intent and you know, 2, I think, of the members are still original. So, you know, I probably would consider things that they put out today canon, but like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like this is sad, but, you know, the guy died recently. And
Stan.
Yeah, and almost all of these characters were his characters. They were his creations. They were a part of him. They came from his mind, and he styled them and dressed them and, you know, made them behave how he envisioned them to behave. And we don't have that anymore. That's gone. That is part of the tragedy of human lifespan. Like when a human dies, all their wisdom and knowledge and everything about them doesn't exist anymore, that, you know, hasn't been preserved in some way. And so, you know, Stan Lee's not around anymore. And so when they take his characters, like, this is the recent controversies. I don't know if any of you follow comic blah. I don't know if any of you follow comic books or the Marvel Cinematic stuff, but you know, they're doing a lot of gender swapping and race swapping and stupid stuff like that, where, like, Thor is going to be a woman. You know, they did this in the comics recently. Thor is no longer the guy's name, which is retarded because in you know, it comes from Norse mythology, where Thor was literally the guy's name. Well, now it's not going to be, you know, his name. It's just the title of Thor, and now it's going to be held by a woman. they don't have a problem. They don't have a problem taking this thing that Stan Lee created and using it for social justice purposes. And if I think about it in terms of like taking something that belonged to Stan and like twisting it or perverting it or effing it up, I get emotional and I get angry. But then if I just think, look, these are some retarded fans that are writing bad fan fiction, like I can just ignore them. Like just dismiss these idiots as just randos on the internet publishing really expensive fan fiction. It
As Eric July might say, it's first level shit, right?
This is level 1 shit.
Yes, I memed Eric July. Yes, I did. Yeah. So if you're not subscribed to Eric July's channel, he's got a comic book centric channel right now. Well, I don't know. It's not comic book centric, but he talks about comic books and this stuff a lot. So if you want to learn more about
culture.
Like if you want to learn more about what's going on with comic books and all these stupid characters, then go check out Eric July's channel. But yeah, that's my thoughts on canon. I think I don't think anything coming out now should be considered legit canon. Like just because a company owns it doesn't make it real. And when I say real, you know what I mean. Like we know it's not real, but it doesn't make it legit. What do you think, Kaysen?
Well, I don't know too much about the Star Trek universe, but by golly, the Star Wars universe was just it's had a canon problem before the sale to Disney and after the sale to Disney, because it's like the Force, it's the thing that binds us all together. No, it's fucking midichlorians, that's what it is. And then it's like, well, now we gotta make it a little bit more mysterious. Gotta bring back some of that original mystery. How are we gonna do it? I don't know, guys. Let's wrap it up with the Emperor being alive at number 9. Put it in the trailer. Give him a laugh. People will get it. I had to explain to my wife this morning that the Emperor was the bad guy who was through 1 through 6. And then she's like, oh, yeah, I remember him. But because they just ditched him for 7 and 8, if they bring him back in 9, all the people that jumped in on 7 and 8, they're going to be like, who is this guy? Is this the guy that they cut in half in 8? Oh, spoiler alert. My bad. Don't worry. You didn't miss much. Anyway. Yeah. Next topic. Get us out of this realm of aesthetics. Get us out of this realm, because fundamentally, intellectual property is not scarce. So it's just as much my Star Wars as it is yours.
You know, when we talk about like how artists and creatives will get paid, you know, sans intellectual property enforcement by the government, we talk about like it's content coming from its original creator is important to people. Like people will buy a copy of a Picasso for dollars, but they'll buy an original Picasso for millions because it's original, not because of intellectual property law. It's because it comes from the original. It's the original work from the original creator. And this doesn't go away just because you get rid of intellectual property law. Like if Gene Roddenberry created a new Star Trek, I don't care if it was terrible, that would be Star Trek because it came from Roddenberry. But
it would be Star Trek to you, Patrick, to you. But not to somebody who really thinks what's coming out right now. They'd be like, oh, this is old and boring. It's like me watching the original Doctor Who series. I'm like, oh my God, it's so slow. This was made whenever people listen to radio for entertainment.
Authentic.
Oh my God.
That's the word. I've been looking for that word, Phobes, this entire time. The word is authentic.
It's authentic.
It's authentic. It is authentic. This new stuff with the Star Trek and the Kling orcs and the social justice is not authentic. It's not authentic Star Trek.
I'm sending you something that is also not authentic, just to hit back on the deep fake.
Okay.
It's literally the word hello 5 times, but with different punctuation, and it has slightly different intonation. You improve on this a little bit?
Okay.
Hello.
So there's 5 different kinds of punctuation.
Oh.
Hello.
Now, I don't believe I've ever said the word hello. So that thing is like ripping my voice up, finding the phonemes. I think that's what it is. The individual sounds that are created by the human voice in the shape of the mouth. Yeah. Just like 60 or something. Finding all those individual little phonemes, stringing them together to say hello. And then it's trying to intuit what would he sound like? Because I tried to mess with this thing. I'd read some in a kind of British accent, and then sometimes I'd read very excited, and other times I'd read very, very straightforward, very deep or whatever. And
Gotcha.
it's just this weird amalgam of that. It's
So,
cool.
Say hello 5 times in a row, and then I'll play the clip.
Hello, 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 hello.
Hello, 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 hello.
Okay, so it sounds very robotic still, but yeah, it's got a lot of it. It's got you nailed in a lot of ways.
That's what 300 trainings out of what is recommended to be like 3,000 trainings.
Oh,
Sounds
okay.
like, so that's 1/10 of the train. And I'm just like, I can't keep reading this book. Like, it gives you a book to read. And it's like, and then Karen walked around the corner and asked to see the manager. And then you hit a button and submit it. And then the Kyles came out from behind the rock throwers and clapped them cheeks. You know.
All right. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, I guess that's all I have to talk about tonight. I have a longer stream planned with a lot of interesting stuff to talk about. Oh, yeah, okay. Hit it.
We have a mutual comrade, communism callback. I don't know if we want to talk about his upcoming seminar in Dallas.
Do it. Talk about it. Talk about it.
All right. You folk may have heard of this gentleman named Larkin Rose. That's what he goes by, at least. Who knows? He wrote some book, something like that. I mean, I guess he may have written more than 1 or 2 or even 3.
What?
And he's talked to people for like
Control, manipulate scientific data, take over, blast, control, world government, shut down infrastructure, ship everything to China. He's just...
I accidentally hit the button. I'm sorry.
anyone who doesn't know, that is not Larkin Rose. Man, we should grab the thing where he goes, whenever I made his face go all funky. That should be a meme. That should be added to the meme list. Yeah. Anyway, so Larkin will be speaking. If you don't mind, here, I'll send you the web address to pop it up behind us. Oh, boom. There you go. So if you go to the website attendcandles.com, there's this thing, Candles in the Dark. It's a seminar by Larkin Rose. Make that thing nice and big. And so basically it's going to be September 28th, 29th here I say here, I'm in California right now, but whenever I'm back home in Fort Worth, Texas, we'll be filming the whole thing, building an online version for people to see whenever they can't make it out. He's going to give away some books, The Most Dangerous Superstition. I think that's his most popular book. Sold a bunch of copies, that sort of thing. And if you scroll down just a bit there, Patrick. Yeah. Cool. So basically, if you want to go, there's all the information. You can go there. You can hop in, save yourself a seat. He gave me a recommended cap of number of people. I won't disclose it right now just because I might change that, doing a little back and forth. Oh, Rika said Larkin should do Candles in the Dark over Discord. Funny you should mention that. We'll actually be creating a Discord voice channel and text channel on our Discord. If you want to put up the links, Patrick. So anybody who attends can get on there and kind of practice and stuff like that. So that'll be a thing. We'll actually be kind of incorporating. So as he does more Candles in the Darks, it'll become a place for them to hang out on our Discord channel so we can meet new people and hang out with them. And then also they can kind of get some practice in or talk with other people. And probably a lot of these people are interested in learning, hey, how do you use Streamlabs, Patrick? And then Patrick will just be like, oh my God, I can't keep up. And that's your future. I'm telling the future.
What?
So anyway. Wait, what'd you say?
No, so the idea of this next seminar is special, right? Do you want to talk about like what we're doing special at this seminar? Because it might it legit. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it legit might be the actual like last Candles in the Dark.
Who's to say? I'm not going to put words in Larkin's mouth, but I know that there is substantial cost involved in getting butts in seats, and it's very difficult. I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of all of this, if he said, you know what, I'm gonna not do so many in person. I'm just gonna, put the online product out there and maybe do something online. So if you're interested in hearing him speak live or getting a book or like seeing the dude in the flesh before an Acapulco, you should probably check it out at attendcandles.com.
And so, like, during this seminar, we will be recording everything and turning it into something that people can, pay to get access to, right?
Useful. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All right. All right.
Everybody
Life
who
is
goes-
fiery with its beauty, its incredible detail. Tuning into it, they want to shatter your mind. Talking about Justin Bieber.
So I just recently saw A Scanner Darkly, and Alex Jones is in that movie. It's about Keanu
really?
Reeves. Yeah, it's about Keanu Reeves and this kind of drug that modifies people's perceptions about life around them and the results of being around that drug. And Alex Jones definitely makes a cameo, and it is glorious, very
Interesting.
glorious.
All right.
So anyway, on this Candles in the Dark thing, anybody who does go, it even says it on the website, you'll get access to the video product as it comes online. So don't go, oh, I want to get that so then I can share it or show it or learn from it later. You get all of them if you go. And that's in, 2 months? Yeah, so enough time to work things out. So all you fine people, attendcandles.com. That's the shilling of the day.
Cool.
Also,
Now-
Dogecoin. Dogecoin is definitely hot, super hot right now. Dogecoin, buy Doge. Anyway.
The last thing that I'll pimp before we call the stream for tonight, and again, we'll have a longer stream coming up soon. But the last thing I wanted to pimp is our Discord server. Like, I know we already did, but it's turning out to be a pretty cool hangout with a lot of nice people that are communicating politely and constructively on the internet, which is a really rare gem of a thing. So if you want to participate in cool conversations, talk about the philosophy, hash through things that maybe you're curious about, join our Discord server, and let's have a good time. Anything else you want to talk about, Kaysen? Thanks for hanging out late night. I know it's a late stream. Oh no! Oh no!
What does
Oh
that
no!
mug look like, Patrick?
I
You have
know
a mug?
the mug is being washed downstairs. This
Is
was
it being washed like in the sink, or can you
yeah.
interrupt the flow of the dishes and go get it?
It's I will have it for the night. I didn't intend to make this like a big stream, so I didn't like prep properly, but I will have it for the next one. I promise. So we'll get.
Because I can stall, baby.
We had a donor donate a really sweet cup because I've been using these ones that just say Big Daddy on them for a long time. So
How dare you?
he's got me a real cup coming soon. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys. We will talk again soon. Take it easy.
Peace.